All right, guys, just want to make a quick video a little earlier than usual because I got some stuff to do today. I know we had this big dump the last couple of days. People are freaking out about it. I'm not freaking out about it. You know, I made a video about 2 weeks ago and I said, we need a big dump. We need to flush out all that retail money. I said, I want to see negative news articles. I want to see everybody railing against Bitcoin. I want to see everybody telling you that MicroStrategy is a piece of shit, which it kind of is. I want people freaked out. I want people talking about how is this bull market over. I said that's the kind of dump we need to reset ourselves from the giant pump we had ever since Trump got elected. Lo and behold, what happens? Bitcoin goes up to 107. Now we're down to 92, 93. Giant flush out dump. And I was wondering this morning, is this enough to start to see all the negative articles on Bitcoin? Yes, it is. You're seeing it now. You can go on Cointelegraph right now. Bitcoin whale support includes mid 60s. So the big Cointelegraphs and all the crypto articles are talking about how it might go down to a $60,000 Bitcoin. Here's another article I just saw. A Bitcoin Reserve Act may end crypto's 4-year boom bust. So basically, you're seeing half the articles right now on all of these shilly, Cointelegraphs, CoinDesk, whatever you want to call it. They're all talking about how Bitcoin, the bull run might be over. And this is exactly what you want to see. Listening to Ivan on Tech, he was kind of summing it up a little bit, talking about MicroStrategy and just how we normally have 30-40% dumps in these markets.
Percent dump in Bitcoin, it's very normal in a bull market. But what's interesting is that Bitcoin dumped 10%, so that's what we saw now. But MicroStrategy from the peak is down around 40%. And this gives you a taste of what's about to come in the next bear market, which is going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. Of course, it's going to be from a much higher spot. From its peak, it will lose 80% of its value. Well, Bitcoin normally goes down 80% in the bear market, but we're nowhere near the top, according to Bob Lucas, and according to me as well. I think we're nowhere near.
Yeah, so this is normal stuff, but interestingly, talking about MicroStrategy, which I've been shitting on for the last 2 weeks, MicroStrategy is down about 40% from its high where it was a couple weeks ago. Just think where MicroStrategy is going to be when Bitcoin drops 80% in the bear market next year. I've said to people, I'm going to say it like every video because I know I'm right on it. SEC is going to come in, shut down MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor is going to be up on investigations, and the stock's going to drop 80, 90%, maybe even 99%. I was talking to somebody on my comments about this. You're holding a turd if you're holding MicroStrategy at this point because we're in a bull market and we see this little dump of 15%, and now MicroStrategy, it's like the end of the world. People are completely freaking out. Well, think what happens when we have 2 solid years of Bitcoin dropping 90%. It's not going to be good. It's just not going to be good. And what I like to do is, like I said, I like to look at the articles because Bitcoin is all about sentiment. And the sentiment has changed. And it really is interesting how we can go from completely loving Bitcoin. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, Michael Saylor has to go on CNBC every 5 minutes and talk about it. And then it goes from, it's all over, bull market over, it's over, going down to $60,000. You can just find the articles. Powell says Fed cannot hold Bitcoin, not seeking to change that. It's just all negative articles right now. Guys, it's all a big mind fuck, and I've been saying it for the last couple of years, and this is just proof in the pudding right here. Trump is looking to create a Bitcoin strategic work. But this article is even overall negative, talking about how he probably can't do it. BlackRock just quietly confirmed a devastating Bitcoin price bombshell. Why? Why BlackRock's Bitcoin explainer is raising alarm bells. Blah blah blah. So 90% of all articles right now about crypto are negative. Whereas 2 days ago, we're at $107,000 Bitcoin that are all positive. Like I said, guys, it's all a mind game. You have to see past this. So I guess in a nutshell, I'm not going to make a long video. This is the pullback that I think we needed in Bitcoin. You guys can watch my videos. I never trusted Bitcoin above $100,000. People are way too happy and euphoric. I was sick of seeing Michael Saylor on CNBC every minute. He was on CNBC last week talking about. Somebody said to Michael Saylor, "How is Bitcoin your holdings of Bitcoin not a Ponzi, and he compared his holdings to Bitcoin to Manhattan real estate. Like this is the you know they say Trump derangement syndrome. Well, Michael Saylor has Bitcoin derangement syndrome. Like everybody's on cloud nine. They're like it's unrealistic. You know these cryptos guys are just used to make some money and trade the 4-year cycles. These aren't like Bitcoin's not going to cure cancer. You know, it's not going to extend your life. It's just an asset to trade, and these people get way too obsessed with it. And like Michael Saylor, you know, this was like 2 days ago he said that, and now everything's kind of collapsing. And that's kind of what you need to have. And it's a reality check for these people that no. Bitcoin isn't going to cure cancer. Bitcoin isn't Elon Musk shooting spaceships into space. It's simply an asset. It's something to trade. It's something to make money on. And that's all it will ever be until we have a quantum computer that comes out and hacks it. Another thing I'm talking about on this channel is quantum computers. I've been talking about quantum computers is probably going to mean the end of Bitcoin and a lot of other things. You even see Joe Rogan now talking about quantum computers.
Well, one of the things that I've talked to about with some pretty insanely brilliant people is quantum computing.
Oh, yes.
And this new Google quantum computer that can do, essentially, the way a quantum computer works, a problem that would take thousands of years for every computer on Earth to solve,
I've read that.
it can solve in a second.
Yeah.
Something that can take more years than you literally can understand, it could be solved in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I read that.
It's insane. And this is where it gets really weird. The way it was explained to me, and we should have to Google how quantum computers work and why people connect them to the multiverse so I don't fuck this up. But the idea is that they're pulling answers from different universes.
Anyway, in a nutshell, it's a very interesting thing, but essentially a computer right now that would take a bazillion years, I think the calculation was it's like a time frame we can't even comprehend. Think a billion years. So it would take your computer a billion years to do a calculation. The new quantum computers that's coming out in 5 years can do it in 1 second. So that will be hacking the Bitcoin blockchain. I'm fully convinced this is probably the last crypto bull run we're ever going to have because of quantum computers. The minute a Google CEO or a scientist comes up with this computer, he's hacking the blockchain. The computer doesn't have to be released to the mainstream public. It just has to be one CIA guy, one Google scientist, one Chinese guy who gets hold of this computer, and your Bitcoin is hacked and it all goes to zero. And that's going to be happening in about 4 or 5 years as we go into the next bull market. So that's why I think this is really your last opportunity to make money in Bitcoin. All right, like I said, short video. What do I think is going to happen? We could go lower, guys. I mean, I really don't know. We're probably not going to get that Santa rally, but maybe by Christmas we'll be pumping. We're probably going to be boring for the next couple weeks, and then we're going to slowly make our way back up. Like I said, guys, coming into spring, February, March, going into April, we'll probably be full-blown rally mode again. And I hope you guys start taking profits when we're in phase 2 of this alt season, when Bitcoin hits like $120,000, $130,000. Everybody's been telling you guys Bitcoin's going to $200,000. It's not going to 200. We'll probably get like 130, 150. We might only get 120. There's very stiff resistance for Bitcoin above $100,000. So the smart money right now is looking for the next leg up. It's way too early to go into a bear market. We have too many good things happening with Trump coming in and everything. But there are things in this world that could take us into a bear market sooner. This whole drone situation in Jersey, if that turns out to be China. If the drones in Jersey turn out to be China or a foreign adversary, that will crash the markets and it will crash Bitcoin down with it. So there are things that could happen, a war, a natural disaster. Nothing in this world is certain, but most of these big events will probably just be a temporary slap on Bitcoin. But as of right now, there's really nothing negative going on other than we're in a traditional 20-30% pullback. We could go down to like $85,000, $80,000. All that's in the cards, or we could have already hit the bottom. I really don't know. I really don't care. I have money on the side. I'm looking to buy. But you also have to remember, eventually, this is going to be a bear market, and Bitcoin's going to just keep dumping. And everybody's going to be right. All the articles are going to be right. Bitcoin bull run over, Bitcoin's dropping 80%. All that's going to happen within the next 6 months. MicroStrategy is going to drop 95% from its high. Everybody's going to lose all their money in MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor will be under investigation by SEC. It's going to be SEC will come in and stop trading on MicroStrategy when we go into this bear market. Now, a lot of people have also said with MicroStrategy, all these ETFs, all those big funds, does that mean we're not going to have as big of a bear market as we have in previous cycles? I think it means we're going to have a bigger bear market than previous cycles. I think with Michael Saylor cashing out, all the retail money pulling out of these ETFs, all the corporations that came in, the big banks that bought Bitcoin, they're all going to be getting out in the bear market, and I think Bitcoin's going back down to $15,000-$20,000 next bear market. On top of that, with the threat of quantum computers and everything else that's probably gone on in the world, most likely a stock market crash as well. We're probably going to be in a recession. I really think you are a moron if you're holding Bitcoin, XRP, any of these cryptos coming out of this bull market. And like I said, we have another leg up. We're not going into the bear market now. Things are going to recover, but in the next 6 months, the bear market's going to start. And if you don't get out, you're going to lose all your money. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.